Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. So the last update about Unfortunate Love was how Rishi pushed Malishka away to save Lakshmi after Lakshmi was captured again by the terrorists and they were calling Rishi to come if he wants to save Lakshmi. So let's continue from there. Malishka comes to the courtroom to see if Rishi is fine. She thinks if they have killed Rishi. She comes inside and asks that where is Rishi. Abe asks, why did you come back here? Malishka started blaming Lakshmi and says today, Rishi's life is in danger because of Lakshmi. Today, all the family members are in danger. She sees Rishi standing on the ice sill while rope is tied on his neck and she is shocked. Malishka goes to Lakshmi and says you used to pretend to be great and she asks that where is your love for your family now? She asks Lakshmi to tell the terrorists to kill her and leave the family. Lakshmi says that she has said it 50,000 times and she pleaded in front of Monish to kill her and leave everyone, but Monish refused. Bahram tells everyone that Rishi will become cold in some time because he is standing on the ice and rope is tied on his neck. Monish says 1 hero and 2 heroines and he asks them to call the police. The ACP says we will kill the terrorists once we get the permission, but the inspector says we will kill them even if we don't get permission. Monish talked to the ACP on call and tells him that Rishi is hanging between life and death and his life is melting. He says, fulfill my demand fast, else I will start killing people and I will begin with Rishi first. The ACP asks Monish to wait until his demand is fulfilled and he asks him not to harm anyone. Monish says if his demand is not fulfilled, then he will send 1 dead body to the ACP every 10 minutes. The ACP calls his superior and tells him that Monish has gone mad and he will do anything. The SSP asks the ACP to talk to Monish that they are thinking about his demand. The ACP says I talked to him already. He says that they have no option than to fulfill Monish's demand and leave the other terrorists. The SSP says if they leave the jailed terrorists, then they will take revenge and they will plan blast at many places. The ACP tells the SSP about the terrorists hanging Rishi and says if they kill people, then what would happen? And the SSP says he will talk to the Home Minister. The reporter hears this and asks the cameraman to open the camera. He says breaking news, we are outside the court and Monish has kept Rishi Obre family captive and says if his demand is not fulfilled, then he said that he would hang Rishi Obre and others to death. And the ACP and the inspector asked the reporter to leave. Devika hears the reporter and says nothing should happen to Rishi and she cries. Monish asks the judge to eat the hammer and then says I will give the verdict and I will throw all of your dead bodies out one by one. Lakshmi sees the ice melting on which Rishi is standing. Devika hopes that grandma's prayers should be listened to by God, else destruction would happen. Rishi smiles while he is about to get hanged. Lakshmi says you are smiling. Rishi says yes, to get good ideas. Monish says you still think that you can get away from here? He asks the Obrey family to see Rishi smiling for the last time. Karishma asks Virendra to talk to the commissioner so that Rishi can be saved. Monish asks Virendra if the commissioner is your friend and says let's see what he will do. He says even if my 3 friends are freed, then also I will kill Rishi surely. I will not let my terror end and I will kill him. Malishka throws a foul on Monish. Monish asks who has done this. Ayush thinks that Malishka is mad to provoke Monish. He thinks that she will die and she will take everyone's lives too. Monish comes to Malishka to shoot her, but Lakshmi comes in front of Monish and says Malishka threw the file to him in anger. Monish says to Lakshmi that Malishka is trying to woo your husband and you are saving her. Lakshmi says nothing is bigger than anyone's life. Ayush asks the judge to see that Lakshmi cannot see her enemy dying and you people think that Lakshmi can mix poison in people's food. Ayush asks the judge what proof he wants for Lakshmi's innocence and says please free Lakshmi from all charges. The judge looks on. Shalu asks Ayush that why are you saying this? She asks if Ayush thinks that they will all be freed from here and then her sister's case will start and she will be freed of charges. She says no, brother-in-law, my sister and we all cannot be saved from the terrorists. Ayush asks really? Ayush asks the judge to announce now that Lakshmi is innocent so that nobody can carry the rumor after their death that the Obrey family's daughter-in-law was a criminal. He says, Monish, I need a favor from you. Just 1 minute. He says, just let Judge Sahib call Lakshmi's sister-in-law innocent. Then we can be peaceful after that. He says, just 1 minute. Monish asks Ayush that, do you want to tell a story? He says, okay, go on and talk. Ayush says he just wants the judge to say that Lakshmi is innocent. Monish says, I am the judge here, and says Lakshmi is innocent. Ayush says there's no use of my saying. Monish says, I will decide about you today, and he asks his men to start the preparation of the lightening of the fire. Malishka says sorry to Monish and she asks him not to light the fire. His men bring the newspaper bundle. Malishka says no. Monish calls Malishka as coward and says you are already burning seeing Rishi and Lakshmi's love. So why should I burn you when you are already burning? He tells everyone that today he will give his verdict. The terrorist keeps the newspaper near the ICO. Monish lights the lighter. Lakshmi asks Monish not to light the fire because the ice will melt fast. Monish says that is why he is lighting the fire, so that the ice will melt faster and Rishi would hang till dead. He says don't think that the fire will set off with the ice water. No. He says there is no match of fire and water, and just like Rishi and this girl Malishka. Monish says that Rishi is the fire and Malishka is the water. He says very soon, the ice will move away from Rishi's feet and his life will be over. He says he couldn't be freed, but his soul will be. Ayush says no and he asks Malishka that why did she provoke Monish, and Ahana and Shalu also blame Malishka. Karishma asks Ayush and Ahana that what is their problem and says why are you scolding Malishka, and says we are in this situation because of Lakshmi. Neelam says if we haven't come to the court, then it wouldn't have been trapped, and she also blames Lakshmi. Kiran says Malishka loves Rishi, so she did what she thought was right to save Rishi. Sonia says to everyone that the main culprit is Lakshmi. Neelam says Lakshmi is inauspicious and we all are trapped due to her. Virendra asks that what are you saying, Neelam? Monish says stop the family drama and see the real drama now. He lights the lighter. Outside, Grandma keeps the Ganapati idol near the tree and the mantras had been played. Monish sets the fire around Rishi and waits for the ice to melt. Lakshmi pleaded with Monish to set off the fire and kill her instead. The terrorists throw the photo where Rishi is standing with rope on his neck outside. Grandma gets shocked seeing the photo and she shouted and cries. The ACP read Monish's letter that he doesn't have much time and he will soon kill Rishi. Ayush pushes Balram and he is about to go to Rishi. Lakshmi comes there and pushes the terrorist and she steps inside the fire circle. She pushes the table and the ice seal and she keeps Rishi's leg on her shoulder so that Rishi will not hang to death. Rishi asks Lakshmi to go and says, you cannot hold me. You know my weight. If you had gone to the gym and you have muscles, then you would have been able to hold me. So he asks her to go. Lakshmi says to Rishi that you had gone to the gym. Why didn't you lose weight? It might be useful by now. Rishi says you are arguing with me in this situation and he asks her to go. Lakshmi says when you are in danger, I cannot see anything. Rishi says care for your life, let me die. Lakshmi shouted Rishi and says if you are alive, then I am alive, and everyone looks on in shock to hear that. Monish says to Rishi and Lakshmi that it is enough. You both do a lot of drama. Commissioner Deshmore comes to meet the Home Minister. The Home Minister asks him to sit. The Commissioner says that the situation is very bad and the Home Minister says, I saw that some people are on strike. The Commissioner tells the Home Minister about Monish's demand to release 3 of most terrible terrorists. He shows their photos to the Home Minister and he tells him that Monish is very dangerous than them. He then calls the ACP and says a decision is taken. He asks the ACP to do something. The terrorist leader sits in the police jeep. They says that Monish got them freed, so they will make more Monish and they will take revenge from the police first. The ACP calls Monish. Monish asks him to call him Monish's brother and give him the good news, else he should get ready for Rishi's last rite. The ACP says good news for you, your 3 friends are released, and he asks him to leave all the hostages. Monish says okay, and he asks him to arrange the helicopter and cars. The ACP asks why. Monish asks him not to question him, and he thinks that he will not let them know how they will go. Monish gives the good news to his terrorist. Rano asks Monish to leave Rishi and Lakshmi. Abe says leave us also. Monish says we will free everyone when we leave from here, but we will give everyone some gift before going from here, and it will be Rishi and Lakshmi's death, and he points gun at Rishi and Lakshmi. Grandma, Devika, Neha and others are praying outside the court. The reporter tells the viewers that Rishi's grandma is praying for everyone's safety. The inspector asks the ACP that you have said that 3 terrorists were freed. The ACP says we are not foolish to leave them so that they can build up the terror, and says we will give everyone the answer to end terrorism. The ACP says that the terrorists that were released will be hanged today evening instead of tomorrow. He says Monish is celebrating his victory, but we are smarter than him. And the inspector tells the ACP that we will go inside and free everyone. Monish tells Rishi that if he kills Lakshmi, then Rishi will die by himself. Rishi says kill me, but not Lakshmi. Lakshmi shouted Rishi, and she asked him to stop saying nonsense. Monish says to Rishi that I will give you a painful death. I know how much you love Lakshmi, and I want to see pain of Lakshmi's death in your eyes, and that is why I will kill Lakshmi first. Rishi says don't kill Lakshmi, kill me. Lakshmi asks Rishi to be silent. Monish takes out some bullet from the gun, leaving 1 bullet in the gun. He says Garbasin taught this game to everyone, so let's see if Lakshmi will get death or not. Monish shoots the gun at Lakshmi, but the bullet is not there as all the bullets were mistakenly removed earlier. Rishi shouted Lakshmi, and the police are coming inside. Malishka tells everyone that they should do something to save their lives. She says we should take risk, else we all will die. She says if we get saved, then we can save Rishi and Lakshmi. And Ayush agreed and says to Malishka that you are right. Ahana says to everyone that this is the right chance to do something. Shalu says, what if my sister gets shot? Ayush says we should not accept defeat. Shalu says yes. Malishka asks what? Ayush says we should blindfold the terrorist. Karishma says, how do we do that? Sonia says for this, we have to go near the terrorist. And Virendra says good idea. Monish shoots a gun again at Lakshmi, but there is no bullet again. He says Lakshmi's faith and says Lakshmi is saved again. He says 3 bullets are in the gun. The ladies tear their palu and their dresses to blindfold the terrorists, while the men take their handkerchiefs. Rishi asks Monish to shoot him instead of Lakshmi. Lakshmi says no, and she asks Monish to kill her instead. Rishi says don't listen to Lakshmi, shoot me. Lakshmi sees everyone walking towards the terrorist. Ayush, Virendra, Neelam and others blindfold the terrorists and they try to snatch their guns. Ayush tries to take the gun from Monish and the bullet is shot and it hits the rope and Rishi gets freed. Ayush looks at the gun. He asks Rishi to make samosa of the goons until he makes chutney. Monish opens his blindfold and shouted, asking them to stop. Rishi points a gun at Monish. Monish says there was just 1 bullet in it and he calls Rishi foolish. Virendra kicks the gun and calls Lakshmi. Lakshmi picks the gun and points at Monish. Rishi asks Lakshmi to shoot Monish. Monish says Lakshmi cannot even kill a mosquito, so how will she shoot him? Rishi, Ayush and Virendra ask Lakshmi to shoot Monish. Just then, the bullet is shot at Monish's hand. Shalu and Ahana goes to Lakshmi. The ACP comes there and point gun at Monish. Monish says you said that my friends are freed. The ACP says they lied to get some time. And Rishi says to Monish that you deserve the betrayal. Virendra says Lakshmi, you shoot at the right time. Lakshmi says she did not shoot. Ayush says very disappointing. Ahana and Ayush ask Lakshmi to shoot Monish. Rishi says the inspector is here. What are you doing? Virendra tells Monish that his daughter Lakshmi cannot kill anyone, not even a cheap guy like you. She would herself can get shot, but she will never shoot anyone. And Virendra slaps Monish and says this is from Lakshmi's father's side for hurting my daughter. Virendra calls Neelam. Neelam also slaps Monish and says don't think that our country people are weak, and says if anyone put bad sight on our country, then we will wipe off the bad sight. Lakshmi says to Monish that I'm feeling bad for your mother, your siblings and the family, who might not want to be called as your family, and says what is bigger than anything in life is humanity. The ACP says to Monish that your 3 friends will be hanged today. Monish calls Rishi as inauspicious. Lakshmi slaps Monish and says we all are made by God, and she asks that how can the people made by God be inauspicious, and she asks him not to call anyone inauspicious again. Neelam looks on in shock because she had called Lakshmi inauspicious multiple times. Okay guys, so this brings us to the end of the shenanigan or the episode of the terrorism and everything. So the next update will be let me not give you guys that gist. So make sure you check the comment section for the link to the next update once it is available. I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye guys.